All right, so for this exercise, we're going to be back with our little house that we started in the last module, and we're going to start creating some new sheets for us to annotate, and then we're going to start learning about annotations. So for the first part of this exercise, let's look at making a couple different plan views. So we talked about in the lecture dimension plans, we talked about furnishings plans, and we talked about enlarged plans. So those are the three types of plans we're going to create in this file. And we're going to put them on sheets and we're going to prepare them to start annotating. So the best place to start, let's go to a main floor plan. Basically, a dimension plan and a furnishings plan is really just a copy of the floor plan. The only difference is what we show in each plan. So just to begin with, all we need to do is copy the floor plan. And you can do that a couple ways, but the fastest way I found to do it is to just right click over here in the browser on the floor plan and let's duplicate the view. And let's do it, we don't want to duplicate all the details we've done, which we really haven't done any detailing yet. So we're just going to duplicate, just duplicate it, that first option. So now it made a copy and we're going to rename it over here. And we're going to name it main floor dimension plan. Now you know what it's for, and then we can copy that or duplicate it anyways, and we'll rename it by right clicking on it, hitting rename, and we'll call this main floor furnishings plan. Okay, and just like that, we've made two extra views that we needed. Then let's hurry and put those on sheets, shall we? So a dimension plan is usually is a type of architectural sheet. So we'll slip that into, maybe we'll do, so the floor plans are in the 100s. So maybe we'll do the dimension plans in the A110s. So I'm going to right click on the floor plan sheet and I'm going to duplicate the sheet and I'm going to duplicate empty sheet. So now it just gives our title block. It's already mostly filled out for us, so we don't have to keep filling it out. The only thing we need to change is the title. So this is the main floor dimension plan. Okay, other than that, I think everything else is filled out. Now we just need to drag our dimension plan onto our sheet. We'll just put it right in the middle like that. Everything looks pretty good, so we'll leave that like that for now. We'll come back to that view once we get the other view sheeted. So now we need to do a furnishings plan sheet. And that is going to be an interior design sheet. So I'm just going to come down here. I'm going to duplicate that empty sheet. And I'm going to call this main floor furnishing plan. I'm also going to renumber it. It should be ID. It should come before the interior elevations. So let's do ID 100. And then it should put that in front of our interior elevations. So that's good. We've done that. Now let's put the floor plan on the sheet right in the center here. Awesome. So now we've got our furnishings plan. Oh, you know what? Though, let's look at I had never noticed before. I forget that in the template, the name of the view has been disconnected from the sheet, the name that shows on the sheet of that view. So let's correct our floor plan. Let's do main floor plan. And let's go to our dimension plan and let's name it main floor dimension. And let's do that to our furnishings plan. All right, so now the views are also labeled. The next thing we're going to do is create enlarged plans. So we've talked about those before, and those will typically, not always, but typically go with the interior elevations. So in your file, you have chosen to elevate different rooms than me. So all you need to do is go to the room that you elevated, and we're going to create enlarged plans of those rooms. So the best place to do this is maybe go to your furnishings plan. And you can see I chose this bedroom here and the bathroom. So the master bedroom and master bath. So in order to get an enlarged plan of this, we do what's called in Revit a call out. So if you go to the View tab, under the area where it says Create, the third icon in this section is called Call Out. So if you click that, you enter the call out command, and now you just drag a rectangle around the area you want to call out. So I'm going to click and drag around the primary bedroom here. And then it makes this call out symbol, and then it has a call out tag. And if you click on it, there's these little blue arrows where you can move the call out tag. I like to do them on the corners typically so that they stand out. Okay, so like most of the things, when you create a view and you draw the tag on the floor plan, it creates a view that's associated with what you just drew. So now, if we look over in our browser, we're going to have to look hard. It sometimes puts things where I wouldn't expect it to put them. Oh, but in this case, it didn't bother sorting it for us. It put it right under our main floor furnishings plan. See how it just says call out? So we will rename this, and we'll do primary, primary bedroom. And then I'm just going to do a hyphen enlarged plan. Right, so we just want to label it what it is. So there's the enlarged plan. And again, like is typical, there's a circle, and Revit will fill in the view number and the sheet number once you've placed it on a sheet. So let's do that real quick. Let's go to our interior elevations, and you can see here are my interior elevations for the primary bedroom. So I'm going to take my primary enlarged plan and I'm going to drag it onto my sheet. I'm just going to put it next to my interior elevations. So here's the enlarged plan. Here's my elevations. And if I go back to my furnishings plan, you can see there's now a reference to that sheet and that view. So let's do the same thing for our primary bedroom, primary bathroom. We'll click the call out, and we'll just click and drag to create the view. And I'm going to click on the view and move the tag head to the corner here. And now we have a call out over here in the browser of the primary bathroom. So let's rename it. Primary bath, enlarged plan. And now let's put it on the correct sheet. Let's put it on the interior elevation sheet next to the elevations. There we go. So now someone can come look at this sheet and they can easily tell which view is looking at which wall on the floor plan. All right, that's it for this video. Let's look at the next video to talk about what shows up in each view and how we control more of what's being visible and how we add annotations in order to make those views more informative to the viewer.